back to Laugh, Wind and Perspire. My co-host Kaz has got a bit of giggles, but we're joined by the other half of Rants and Big Pants. And today we brought you in, haven't we? Because we're going to talk about...
We brought her in because you were dull, so trying to liven it up a bit.
Really, really loves me.
Yeah, I love her more than you.
She does a little bit. She really does. They will be getting it on at the weekend.
Bloody low.
As I was saying, yes, today we're going to talk about imposter syndrome, because this one suffers with imposter syndrome. It's a really big thing. And Kaz and I...
It's not for you two.
No, we don't suffer with that. But, I've suffered with depression. So, there are horses for courses, shall we say.
Horses for courses.
You do get it, though. You do recognise it.
100% I
recognise it in me.
And do you think means to... So before, say, you went on stage on your own, say as a compare, not with it in your band, did you never think, oh, fucking hell, I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be doing this? Or...
No, I wouldn't say I shouldn't be here and I shouldn't be doing this. What I would say is if I wasn't feeling confident, oh my God, my voice is going to go, I'm doing this today. So it's not like I don't believe, believe
in yourself.
Yeah. I know, listen, I always say I'm not the greatest singer, but I'm a bloody great performer. If you want entertainment and a laugh and whatever, then come on over. If you want the best singer, I'm not your girl.
Yeah, we know that. Maybe what? So with imposter syndrome, is it is that in everything you do, or is it just... So for those of you who don't know, can we talk about...
Yeah.
DB's written a book, and I'm very lucky enough to have got a copy, and it is a page turner. I love it. But what is it? Is it in everything you do, or is it just since you've written a book that you think, oh, I'm shit, or I can't, or is it everything?
I think that for a long, long time, I pitched it in with my confidence and quite low self-esteem. But the truth is that I don't have low self-esteem now. I've worked, I've spent a lot of time in therapies and I've worked through that. Do I have a lack of confidence? Yes, I do. But I'm not like you two, where you can just go and do anything and not worry about the consequences. I worry about what that's going to be like. But, and it's that whole introvert, extrovert thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm quite loud, I'm very loud, but I am an introvert. But I recognise things within that, like I'm not good at small talk. That's just not my happy place. But the imposter syndrome, I don't think really come into play until this book, or the thought of releasing this book.
I disagree with that.
Oh, there you go.
I tell you why. I think maybe when you started to write this book, probably 4 years ago or whatever, I think you've always had imposter syndrome. I just don't think it was potentially labelled then.
When we were at the Weekender last year, don't get me wrong, obviously I'd heard of imposter syndrome and I understood what it meant, but did I attribute it to me? No. But when Emma was up there and she was talking about imposter syndrome and what it was and what it looked like and what it felt like and how it impacted your life, it hit me like a ton of bricks, because suddenly I had that light bulb moment and thought, okay, this is not what you thought of was confidence. This is what you're actually feeling. And for me, it's something, and I don't know if this is like the general thing, I've no idea, I can only say how it feels to me. I find it mentally and physically paralysing. It just stops me in my tracks and I can't move from that spot. But mine is all about, it's not about, what will people think of my book? It's not that. Because I'm fully aware that people will think what they think. You can't stop it.
Absolutely.
It's not that. It's actually my book author and bloggers, so my peers in that realm, it's them that I feel the imposter syndrome with. It's like, sorting out the bio on your Instagram and it comes up with author and it gives you that squeaky bum moment, because you just think someone out there is going to go, mate, you haven't even released it yet. What the hell are you calling yourself an author for?
I get that, DB, in a way that when being a personal trainer, when put in the last 5 years since having, hysterectomy, cancer and all that shit, my body is put on weight. My body, not somebody else's body, but my body. And it's like, am I worthy of being a personal trainer because I don't have a six pack? Like, are people going to look at me and go, really? So in that kind of, and then I had to give my head a wobble because I've never felt like that before. And
I think that's so true, because 20 years ago or 30 years ago, probably more than that, you had the Jane Fondas out, and they look, and the Jamie Lee Curtis, and they look incredible. And that's what we had in our head. Somebody who was, you
think, oh, I've got to look like that.
Yeah, look like that. And if you didn't look like that, why didn't you look like that? Because if it's so good for you and you can get so fit,
you look like
what
that.
happened to you?
Yeah.
Especially with social media and how all the younger generation, there's not many old birds like me. Well, there's a couple, but they are very thin. The ones that I kind of know.
I think that came into body shaming, but we didn't know what body shaming was because of our generation. We just accepted.
Yeah.
That's how people spoke about other people.
Yeah. And also it's like, say the three of us did the same exercise, ate the same for 6 months, there's still the three of us would never look the same. So it's like when you're, as a personal trainer, so when I was I did almost wanted to put something on my T-shirt and say, I've had cancer, that's why I've put on weight. How bad was that? I wanted people to...
That's awful that you felt the need to declare...
Can I just interject there? I can understand why you would think that. Because, like you say, we have been brainwashed to feel that way. So it is almost like, I am, but honestly, I've had cancer. This is why I'm the size I am, and I'm doing the job that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But actually, social media has been a good thing too, because it has stopped. It definitely has stopped that mindset, I think, of so many things. I mean, size per side, for instance.
Yes.
The size 10 versus the size 18. The personal trainer. I relate to you more than anybody cares. You get me off that bloody sofa.
With the size by side, you never feel conscious that Claire's that size and you're that size. You're quite... No. I love that names.
I don't. Don't get me wrong. Would I like to be smaller? Yes. But I'm not going to hate myself until I get there, because I'm not in a frame of mind to actually be asked to do it. And that's the truth. But would I like to drop a dress size? Yes. But am I not confident?
Not at a detriment to your happiness.
I'm a size 18.
Yeah.
You own it.
Yeah, that's what I am at the minute. And if I was that upset by it, I need to get off my arse, stop eating so much and move more.
Yeah.
It's simple.
You know the saying, those that mind don't matter, and those that matter don't mind. So like us three love each other, love how you look. DB, like your book, and like, even if it wasn't my cup of tea, because as in, you wouldn't go, oh, it's shit. You would just say, oh my God, I read it, but that's not my thing. It's like art, isn't it? If you like, I love my art, but I don't like other people's art necessarily, but it doesn't mean it's their fault. So it's how do we get...
what appeals to them.
Yeah. But then how do we get in our heads, like for you as well, for you, DB, like to go, no, I've written a book. That's bloody amazing. And I am an author because that's what I am, because I've written a book. How do you get over that?
I think it's just a matter of keep pushing yourself and keep going. Okay, you are what you are until somebody says you're not. In my head, I think it's just that I revere these people and I look up to these authors and these, and the people in the bookish world, the bookstagrammers, which is not easy to say, book bloggers, they actually wield a lot of power, and they can, through reviews on Goodreads and whether they put an edit up of your book, they can kind of make or break it in a lot of ways. They have such high followings. Some of them have higher followings than the authors that they promote. They are very, very influential.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's conversations, and I read through threads, and there's conversations, I have no idea what's going on. They might as well be talking, I don't know, Arabic. I've got no idea. You know, they'll use acronyms and they'll use these buzzwords. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then that compounds my imposter syndrome, because then I feel even more out of the loop because I don't understand the thread, and it's quite a compact little world. But I appreciate, and I do get it, that until I start making inroads, I'm not going to break through that. But the other thing that I realise is that even when I release this, if I don't release another book within the next 6 months of releasing this one, I might as well not bother.
Are you writing another one at the moment?
Yeah, because I'm having to write that, but at the same time, when this releases, I'm not just sitting on my laurels waiting for my last bit to come through before I release it. I am actively doing stuff, but I'm trying to write at the same time, and it's not easy.
Can I just try and put a lid on your imposter syndrome a little bit? And I'll tell you for why. You are an author. The definition of an author is someone that has written a book.
Yeah.
You have written a book. The definition of an author is someone that's written a book. You're an author. But do you know what I mean? We put this doubt in our mind.
Yeah.
That's according to the Oxford and whatever it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you're an author.
Yeah.
You may not get all this jargon and everything, but let's be real, you're not doing it full time. You've got a full time job.
No, that's right.
You're doing this in your own time.
Yeah.
Once you've got full time to devote to it, because of course we're all going to buy the book, Secrets and Lies, and then you can devote more time, and then you've got more time to understand these acronyms.
Yeah.
And then you will be a published author.
But do you know what? Then this is where I really, really feel fortunate, because I think unlike a lot of other newbie authors in the same position as me right now, I mean, they might be, have a different level of confidence and just chuck themselves in there and not care. But where I feel fortunate is that I'm not surrounded by 3 or 4 cheerleaders. I've got all right, she spearheads it, but I've got loads of people.
Yeah.
That, when I know that I've got to up my content on my social media to start the tease and to get people interested. But people that we have met through rants, this, that, when people start engaging with your content, that's what you want, because that builds up your audience.
People are loyal. People like you, they're bloody loyal.
Donna Ashworthy, oh my God. Well, I started when lockdown must have been when I first started 3 years ago. She only had a few followers.
She's that Donna Ashworth words. So she writes those lovely
poetry. You've done a live with her before, haven't you?
Yeah, beautiful.
I mean, she's
over 1 million people now on Facebook write stuff that relates to so many people.
And as a person, as you are, DB, lovely. And it's the fact that it's so all very well, isn't it? We all say, when people say to you, oh, you're this, you're lovely, you're so much fun, you have got to believe it in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit like that whole, if you want to help yourself, you've got to want to help yourself. Everybody can help you, but ultimately, it's so true. If you don't believe it, if you don't see that, if you don't put the work in to want to believe it,
then it's never
and to get over it, it's not going to happen.
The hardest thing, I think, probably, DB, is like if you get a negative comment and then you're like, but isn't it funny in negativity in everything? So you a lot of Instagrammers I see, they'll have 100,000 followers and they might get 100 amazing, lovely, positive replies, and they'll get one nasty troll and they'll focus on that. It's like he's nothing. He or she is nothing. It's like, how do you deal with the odd neggy shit?
I don't know if that's in your makeup though, because there's a couple of our stuff that does the rounds of me in bikinis and stuff like that, and on Facebook, and I get some real nasty derogatory comments from men, and I'm going to put it out there, very much Middle Eastern men, who will come on and go, you fat, ugly, so and so, but mate, I honestly,
don't care.
I swear on my life, I don't care.
Yeah, me too. I'm exactly the same.
How sad have you got to be to not appreciate all different sizes, sexes, colours, creeds? Like, you are so narrow-minded. You absolute fucked
Do you know
hard.
what,
It,
though?
honestly, it doesn't make
Love
me
that
angry.
word.
And I've got to say, there's an author that I
Yeah.
follow, and I really like her. I appreciate she's not everybody's cup of tea. I really like her, and she talks about how to deal with negative comments,
Who's
whether
that?
it be on, her name's Lauren Asher, and whether it's on social media or wherever. And her point is that you just go, thank you very much for your comment. I appreciate that. Not everybody is going to enjoy it, but I appreciate that you took the time to read it. You know what? What a wonderful way of, not pretending
Cutting it
it's
off.
there.
I'll tell you what actually taught me a lot, I think, as well, is when I did the social media for Benefit Cosmetics, we used to get some real hate at women. When it first started, we put women, young girls, everything. Again, all colours, creed, ages. People were haters when it first came out. Oh, my God, look at the state of that lipstick on your face. You look a right ugly bitch and all this. And that used to make me angry because I used to think, how dare you say that about somebody? When it's about someone else, I get really riled.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Me then. And then I remember going into a meeting and saying, people would go, just delete the comment, just delete the comment. And I said at the meeting, hang on a minute, why are we just deleting these comments? Why are we not going back at these people saying, hashtag be kind? But we did. And in the end, the management said, you know what, you're right. You are so right. We are a brand for all women. If they want to be nasty, you know what? Let's just kind of turn it on its head a bit. And we did. But social media, very rarely do you see women to women nasty comments now, I think. And if you do, it's 100% jealousy. And
oh my God, so jealous.
Yeah, it is. 50 sister, great. She's brilliant. Listen, does she inspire me to get up and skip? No. Does she inspire me to buy a skipping rope? Yes. But I haven't done anything with it. She's small, she's lovely, she's petite, she's amazing. If you don't like her, don't fucking follow her. Don't follow her. Don't be nasty. She is.
I think some people can't help themselves. I think they have.
How sad.
I know, but they don't realise they're sad because they're actually more nasty than they are anything else. They feel the need to validate themselves by being.
Yeah, but you know what?
But don't you think?
I've been jealous once in my life. Sorry, Kate. I've been jealous once in my life over someone that I used to be work with, right, through singing and dancing. I was a nasty person then. I wasn't happy with myself. I was jealous. So actually, but that taught me a lot. That taught me so much. And that was Nikki, and I've been really honest with her. Yeah. And I've said to her, I wasn't being at the time, God, you get all the best songs, you look amazing. I was jealous. That made me a nasty person. I'm telling you now, if people are putting nastiness out there,
it's how they feel.
They're unhappy.
They're jealous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So my thing is as well, like you said, Neens, you didn't like how you were when you were talking. When I've been a shitbag and I've said things, or it's normally because I'm jealous, I don't feel nice to myself, or I'm whatever it is, and I hate how I feel. So these people who put their wanky, neggy comments on, I know that they're unhappy, and that's what gives me happiness because I know I'm not like that.
Yeah,
so I know
for them.
Yeah,
I do.
Right, so hold that thought.
Yeah, I do.
And if anyone comments on your book,
yeah,
just hold that thought.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for you.
But
I'm so
I do
sorry.
genuinely, because I think if you have, it is that old adage about if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. But the fact that you're putting yourself out there and you're writing that for everybody to see, why are you embarrassed, mate? Honestly, shame on you.
Do you think they finish? They send it and they sit at home and they're going, I'm really glad I sent that. I feel fucking amazing.
No, I don't.
I don't think they do.
I think they actually don't even think about it.
Listen, there are people on social media that I follow. I'm going to be really honest now and go, oh, God, roll my eyes sort of thing. I follow them because I champion women, but their content doesn't necessarily resonate with me. Yeah. Okay, but I support that person in what they do.
Yeah.
But I would never, ever go, oh, boring or not for me.
Yeah.
Like,
what you mean, like I do with you?
Mate, all the time you do that. But do you know what I'm saying? I just...
Totally, Nate. It's like there are definitely things that I see and I'm like, oh, I could engage in this. as in, you know, like if it's about exercise, especially diet is the worst for me. I think, Kaz, I don't need to say anything. And I think for us, luckily, we're old enough and beautiful enough to like not let it phase us as such. You know, we just scroll across. Like you said, Nins, if somebody is horrible to somebody that I love, then that will fucking flip my lid.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
The younger generation, it is, isn't it? And I think also it's like comparison is a thief of joy. Now, if you're comparing yourself with your black, ginger, white hair to DB's gorgeous, that's how I want my hair to
look.
You can't do that. We know. I don't know what I was going to say then.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. You were boring us too.
Comparison.
It's a thief of joy.
Mate, it is the thief of joy.
And I think when trolls say there was a troll, DB releases her book and there's a troll that goes, I really want to write a book. Hasn't written a book. DB has, and they'll say something nasty. I think, well, that's your fault. It's not DB. She's put herself out there. She's done it. We like it. You're just jealous.
Yeah, but you know what as well? I think just going back to social media, be your authentic self, you know. In January, I was saying I was struggling a bit and just being honest, you know, and it's a bit like you with your author account that we will start to promote. Be honest. Your first post should be, I'm not going to lie, I've got a little bit of imposter syndrome. So many people will relate to that as an author, as a person, as an individual. Yeah. But you know what? If you're going to do social media, I think you have got to be a certain person that can accept a little bit of slating, that not everybody's going to like you. You've got to be able to. You've got broad shoulders.
You've got to have that hardened skin. And if you haven't got it, you've got to make yourself have it.
Because let me tell you, if I went back to having my depression and anxiety again, I would put a post out and say, guys, I'm not in a good place. I'm taking a break. I'll be back when I'm better. Because to read that shit or not get what I want to hear when I'm not in a good place.
Yeah, that's awful. You just spiral then, don't you?
Oh, massively.
Spiral. When everyone's having and it's very true. A lot of social media is a snippet of someone's life.
What was this about, a panic attack, hun?
I had a little meltdown on Thursday. I went into a shop and the slidey doors got a bit stuck and it just literally flipped a switch where I used to get this panic of going into when I was having really bad panic attacks, and it was momentary, but it was there. And then I just did a story on it, and
just that sudden rush.
Oh, fucking hell! I mean, I wanted to cry. I felt really emotional. I was like, fucking hell! It's like something sitting on my chest. And then I did a story on it anyway. I put it as a post on my. Michelle said put it as a post, and the amount of comments I got, positive. Thank you, Kaz. Thanks. Oh my God, how do you talk about your? And how do you talk about your
good stuff?
Yeah.
This shit is happening, and we need to talk about it. It's almost like a solidarity thing.
Yeah. I hate the saying.
I know you do. I don't. I'm with it. Yeah. They hate the saying. It's okay not to be okay. Yeah.
It's not okay.
It is okay.
It's not okay. No, it is not okay to not be okay. It's shit to not be okay. It's okay to admit it.
Yes.
And do something about it. It's not okay to not be okay. It's fucking shit to not be okay.
But what we're saying is don't put pressure on yourself. It's okay that you feel that way. We understand and we get it. A lot of people feel that way. But yes, it is shit.
I've got to be honest, I don't dislike it for the same reason as you. I just dislike it because I just think it makes my arse go. I find it really
me too, DB. Yeah. On that note, should we finish this one?
So listen, what have you learned about imposter syndrome today?
I know the impact of it on me, and that stops me moving forward. And I think every time I do something positive and take an action, it kind of pushes that a little bit further back. The other thing is that when I'm feeling like that, I know that I can voice that and go, mate, okay, it's in full force. You need to,
Yeah.
Well, I think you call these people out.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you call.
I don't need to. I've got you to.
That's
it's like having cut the Rottweilers.
Should I just call us an old dog?
Yeah. You, not me.
Family, yes.
Yeah. Okay, fair play. Right, on that note, we're going to love you and leave you. DB, thanks for being here, mate. You took a day's holiday today to do this with us.
Thank you. Love that, DB.
As always, thanks for listening or watching if you're on YouTube. And don't forget, subscribe. Just where we're going to subscribe today, Kaz, just here. And
here,
we're available on all good podcasts, which I believe is things like iTunes, Spotify,
YouTube,
YouTube, Podcasty and Podcasts, and
podcast, Muck podcast.
yes, absolutely. So
Yeah.
they're out there. They are out there. Just look for Laugh, Wind,
And Perspire.
Yes. Lots of love,
Thanks.
everyone. See you next time.